Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Inside Golf, presented by Susquehanna Wealth Management. I'm Harry Donahue. Hope you had a very Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and enjoying the holiday season. As today, Inside Golf takes a look back at some of the people we met during 2014. Folks like Dal Finsterwald, who we caught up with at Lanark Country Club, the site of his 1958 PGA Championship. We'll also revisit Kurt Simmons and Bobby Shantz, a couple old pitchers in Philadelphia. Kurt with the Phillies and Bobby played with the A's and the Phillies. We'll talk to them about their careers and how much they love the game of golf. And we also caught up with Sean O'Hair. Sean is trying to get back into the thick of things on the PGA Tour with a new set of golf irons. And during our teed-off segment, our panel will debate the comeback hopes of John Daly and the emergence of a new Woods. It's all coming up next on Inside Golf, presented by Susquehanna Wealth Management. Inside Golf, presented by Susquehanna Wealth Management, helping you build, manage, and preserve wealth. By PGN Plus, play your golf bucket list. And by the Philadelphia Section PGA, experts in the game and business of golf.
Whether you are beginning to plan for your future, building your nest egg, or nearing retirement, Susquehanna Wealth Management will take the time to understand your unique situation and provide a customized, comprehensive strategy. From investment management and trust services to retirement planning for you or your business, we can help you develop a long-term plan to meet your specific financial goals. We understand that through life stages, your needs and financial objectives change. No matter where you are in life or how much wealth you have accumulated, we're always available to sit down with you to review your plan and adjust it as necessary. Susquehanna Wealth Management.
Susquehanna Wealth Management,
helping you build,
manage, and preserve wealth.
Well, we have a very special guest at today's tournament, and the T, the W, the black, and the red, kind of get an idea of who it could be? I don't know. What do you think? Who's it behind the umbrella?
I don't know. Could be Rory McIlroy. How are you?
Well, I think you're the Tiger Woods of today's tournament. How about that?
Yeah.
Welcome back to Inside Golf, presented by Susquehanna Wealth Management. No, in case you were wondering, we did not get a chance to hook up with Tiger Woods in 2014. But here's a little look back at some of the notables we did catch up with during the past 12 months. Let me take you back. The year was 1958. Ike was in the White House, and the PGA Championship was held right here at the Lanark Country Club in Havertown. And the winner was Dal Finsterwald. I know you were back a few years ago for the 50th anniversary of the PGA Championship you won here. You're back now because this is the inaugural year of the Finsterwald Cup, which is a competition for amateurs in the Philadelphia area. So Dal Finsterwald's legacy continues here at Lanark.
Well, and it's quite a thrill to come back to Lanark. Membership is tremendous. The course, they've just done a wonderful job in the conditioning, and the whole atmosphere is very enjoyable.
Well, Dal, nobody played this course as well as you did back in 1958. Just to go back there, you weren't in the lead into the final round, but you were at the end the champion, and you were only one of two players in the entire field to shoot under par. Par was 70, and I think you finished 3 under, and Billy Casper finished 1 under, and Sam Snead, who had the lead going into the final round, had some problems on that final 18 and finished at 73.
Sam had a hard time over, I believe it was the 12th hole, was a 3-par, and I had hit a very poor shot to the green and was stymied by a tree, and some way I got it over the tree, and I made about a 12-foot putt on not the smoothest surface, and so that was more luck than skill.
How about, you played in a golden era of golf, I think it's safe to say, back in the late 50s and early 60s, and you were very much involved in competition, all the majors. I know You won here in '58. In 1960, you had a great year. You finished third in the U.S. Open. I'm not sure where the tournament was played
That
that
was
year.
Cherry Hills in Denver.
Oh, that's the year that Arnold won, right?
Shot 65 in the last round.
So you almost won a green jacket. What was that like, coming this close and not being able to seal the deal and having Arnold beat you in that playoff?
Sure, it was disappointing. I was disappointed, but I've tried not to dwell on what might have been and what could have been, or I wouldn't say should have been, but yeah, too many good things have happened on the golf course for me. A lot of great memories, and certainly a lot here at Lanark.
Well, you made those memories here at Lanark. We want to thank you for joining us here on
thank
Inside
you.
Golf.
Well, I've enjoyed visiting with you, and
Let's make a date for next year. You got it?
at least at the 60th.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Dow Finsterwald joining us here at Lanark, the site of his 1958 PGA Championship. Kurt Simmons and Bobby Shantz. Boy, imagine sitting down at the same table with you two guys. Now, a lot of our viewers, fellas, probably weren't around in your heyday. I'm talking about your baseball heyday.
Right.
And I love the way you dressed in red for the Phillies.
Right.
You got your blue sweater
A's.
on for the Philadelphia
The A's,
Athletics.
yeah.
Philadelphia Athletics, folks. They moved in after the 54
Fourth
season
season, yeah.
to Kansas City. And Bobby, 2 years before that, you were the American League Most Valuable Player. Now, they didn't have a Cy Young Award back in those days.
No, they didn't.
So it was open to not only regular outfielders, infielders, whatever, but also pitchers for the MVP.
Yeah.
And both of you played, Kurt, I think you'd agree, in the golden era of baseball, as far as I'm concerned. When you could look at the 50s through the late 60s.
Everything but the money.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Wasn't too golden. Well, you were just telling me. Let's go back. Let's start out here by going back to your beginning of your professional career. Both of you were relatively hometown guys from the Lehigh Valley,
Right.
Whitehall Township.
Right.
Bobby, you were from Pottstown. And you signed with the Phillies right out of high school.
Right.
After you embarrassed them. They went up there, they brought the team, what, in 47 up to Whitehall?
47, right at graduation, high school graduation, and they came up to test me out. They said he's got a pitch, and my father was in charge because I was bashful. I didn't say anything. And then I beat him. Well, we didn't beat him. It was 4-4 tie, and I struck out 11 guys. And
11 and you're in high school.
Right. I think the umpire was calling a high strike. I don't know. But anyway, my father told the Phillies we'd give him the last shot. My dad said, well, he'll sign for $65,000. And they said, okay.
Bingo, done deal.
Yeah, right.
All right, meanwhile, Pottstown, Pennsylvania. 5'8" Bobby Shantz. Now, Kurt tells me the Phillies,
5'6".
the 5'6", the Phillies were interested in you, but you were too small for their owner, Bob Carpenter. Is that true?
Yeah, I was too small. He said I had Mr. Collins, Jocko Collins, was at a game where I pitched with the Holmesburg Ramblers, and after the game he came over to me. He says, "You got a great curveball. You got a good arm, but you're too small." So that was the end of it.
Bobby, let me ask you, as an old player, a great player for several teams, and pitching in all-star games, being a most valuable player, when you watch the game today, what do you think about
I think it's too slow.
it? Too slow.
Now the
Too much
umpires,
time.
all this stuff they have to watch 2 or 3 times with the telephones and all that baloney. I think it's going to make a 4-hour game every time I look at it. I can't watch a full game.
Right.
I'm asleep by the time the game's over. They're too darn long. I
You'd
think.
rather go out there and run around on the golf course.
yeah, I don't run around anymore. I walk.
Here we are at White Manor on the range talking with Sean O'Hare. First of all, congratulations on a nice week down there in Georgia. That must have felt pretty good, huh?
Yeah, it felt really good. I was very happy with my irons. Felt really good with them, and just kind of the confidence just built, as the week went on, and just had a really good ball striking weekend.
We hear about visualization, and you were saying earlier that one of the things about this club that you like is just when you look at it, it feels better.
Yeah, I have a specific look I'm looking for in an iron. My iron game's always kind of been the strength of my game, and so look is important. But with these irons, you just look at them, and for me, it just was like, how can I miss it? And I think the technology behind it, making the off-center hits go, consistently as far as distance control is concerned, just kind of fed into my confidence. And
it reminds me, I read something, I don't know if this is true or not, about you, and I guess it was a few years ago, and you were having troubles with your swing. And I think it was before maybe the John Deere Classic that you won, that you actually went to a bookstore.
Barnes & Noble,
like 2 days before the event started. 2 days before, you're reading a Jack Nicklaus book on his swing, and you went out and won the tournament.
Well, actually, it was the day before. And I just couldn't sleep at night. I was nervous. I was concerned about my game. I didn't feel good at all. I was kind of at that point where you're lost. I think we've all been there, and I just needed something. And so I got a book, and I saw a picture. I'm like, oh, that looks good. And I went out there with it, and I
started. And you practiced in your hotel room?
I didn't even hit balls. I went out. It was Wednesday after I got done playing. I went to Barnes & Noble, got that book. It was Jack Nicklaus Golf My Way, and Wednesday night I was in my, looking at the mirror in my hotel room, taking a few swings, and then I went on the range and felt pretty good, and just went out and won the golf tournament.
It's amazing. You never know what it's going to do. I mean, what is it? Is it practicing or
golf,
a book?
Exactly.
Now maybe a new club, and we hope that you're back in the winner's circle real soon.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Good luck. All right, stay right there. There's more to come here on Inside Golf. Next up is our teed off panel.
Golf is your passion. Each round is a unique experience with memories that last a lifetime. Make your next round one to remember with PGNplus.com, the Professional Golfers Network. Sign up for free for exclusive access to the best private courses in your area. Already a country club member? Go to PGNplus.com to learn how to take your membership further. Play your golf bucket list only on PGNplus.com. Book your tee time today.
Valley Forge Casino Resort, we're rolling out the action. So take us for a spin. For the win. Valley Forge Casino Resort. It's safe, it's chic, and only a shuffle away from the main line.
Welcome back to Inside Golf, presented by Susquehanna Wealth Management. One of our corporate sponsors is Valley Forge Casino. Jen Galley's here. Jen is the Chief Marketing Officer for Valley Forge Casino. And it's that time of the year when we're talking about making plans for New Year's Eve. And I know this could be a one-stop spot for a lot of people because you have really something for everybody.
We do. We have something for everyone going on New Year's Eve here at Valley Forge Casino Resort. We're very excited to be kicking off our Paint the Town Red party in the Convention Center with Jerry Blavitt. So Jerry Blavitt's hosting. We also have special guest Loka Akani. We've got a surf and turf menu, dancing, cocktails, champagne toast, party favors. It'll be a great night.
What time's that all get underway?
That starts at 9 p.m.
9 p.m. And of course at midnight, everybody will go wild. All right. What other types of things are here for people maybe want to check out something else?
Yeah. So speaking of wild, we have Deuces Wild is hosting their New Year's Eve party, and that's with Crockett from WXTU. He'll be hosting that night. We have a dinner buffet, champagne toast, cocktails, and that'll be a fun night with the mechanical bull and everything else that we have to offer in Deuces Wild.
Anything else on the menu here?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have great prefix menus in both of our gourmet restaurants, Pacific Prime and Viviano, which is with Chef Tony Clark. And so he has the 4-course prefix menus that you can book on Open Table for both of those that evening. And then we also have great stay and play packages. So if you visit vfcasino.com, you can look at all of our great room packages with all different things to do on New Year's Eve.
It sounds like you need more than one night.
Absolutely.
To keep everybody happy because, wow, you got everything just in a few hours. I think you ought to space it. Maybe have New Year's Eve 2 or 3 nights.
That's true. We can extend it and just kick off 2015 with a bang.
Happy New Year, Jen.
All right. Happy New Year. Thank you.
It sounds like a great time. Come on out. New Year's Eve this year at Valley Forge Casino Resort. Welcome back. Inside Golf continues with our teed-off panel. We are at the Valley Forge Casino Resort in King of Prussia, right on the gaming floor. We've been here before in the restaurants and over at one of the taverns, but boy, we're right in the middle of the action. And we have an action-packed group, believe me. How about Bob Shepard, noted author, historian, PGA professional. Shep, always a pleasure.
Great to see you, Harry, and thanks for having me.
Tom Karpus, Kenneth Square Golf Pro, also member of the Rules Committee for the PGA of America. I think he's number 2 now, soon to be number 1, I'm sure. he's number one in our book. Tommy, good
Thanks.
to see you.
Thanks, Harry.
And speaking of number one, Harry Mays from 97.5 The Fanatic holds down fort 10 a.m. to noon every Monday through Friday. And this is football season. I know you guys are getting heat up, NFL playoffs and everything like that, but take some time out to talk about your favorite sport.
Always look to do that.
Golf. All right, guys. Recently, not that long ago, John Daly actually won a tournament. You have to go back 10 years, Shep, I think, the last time he did it. He won this time in Turkey, okay? And you know how much he won for that, right? How much?
What I heard, it was $8,000.
$8,000.
That's about what his caddy made.
You made more than that winning at Sandy Run in a member guest some
in our
few years ago.
our weekly raffle.
Wow, 8,000. I'm sure he got some appearance money though.
I'm
right?
sure he did too. Yeah, and that's a good sign of life too. I mean, there's a guy that was at the top and he's floating around a little bit, and he still has a career, which obviously he's not going to be playing on the big time tour, but he's still got a life, and he's a great addition to any tournament. He's lively. Plus, he got engaged. And
at the same time.
They always said in the golf industry that you beware of the injured man, and no man is more injured than when he's in love. So that could have been the.
That's why we have Bob Shepard here, adding that
like
little
that.
philosophical.
I learned something today.
That little philosophical bent that Shep will drop those nuggets on you
Flip
every
it right
once in
in
a while.
there. There you
Now,
go.
at the same time that Daly won in Turkey for $8,000, Cheyenne Woods, whose uncle happens to be El Tigre, got her LPGA card. How about that? That was some weekend for golf. Women, men, Daly, another Woods. Who's going to be the first to win between Daly and Cheyenne, Tom, on American soil in a PGA or LPGA event, do you think?
I think it'll be Cheyenne Woods. Now, it wouldn't surprise me, though, if Daly has a little bit of a resurgence. You know, confidence is a really big thing in golf. And he's won 3 majors, so he's been there. But I'm anxious to watch Cheyenne Woods play. Physically, she hits it good player, and I think the LPGA might have the brightest future of all. All the tours are big, but LPGA really, with Michelle Wie and Lydia Ko, they have a lot of great players, young players coming up. And Cheyenne Woods, I think she'll win next.
Lydia Ko, I don't think, is old enough to celebrate with a glass of champagne John Daly's engagement, right? She's like sub 21.
Exactly. She's not legal. But I didn't know that there was a Hooters in Istanbul. I mean, if John Daly's there, doesn't there have to be a Hooters nearby?
Must
right?
be. Must be.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's the key. Maybe there isn't, and that's why he won.
But I hope that John Daly wins again on American soil. He's a flawed human being. He's a great comeback story. He's just one of those guys that he's a hot mess, and we like those. We like those people. I mean, anytime he's on TV, it's must-see TV to me in the golf world. I love John Daly.
He can get an albatross, or he can get a Snowman Plus on any hole, right?
Boom or bust.
Always good conversation, though. Always good conversation.
Guys, that task force for the PGA of America and the Ryder Cup for the next time around, which is going to be in Hazeltine, I believe, in 2016. They met, and they had a 4-hour conference call a couple weeks ago. 4 hours on a phone line. I don't know how many. Said everybody was present and accounted for. Now that task force, was that Ted Bishop's maybe his last idea before he was escorted to the door, or did that follow that?
I'm not sure exactly how that came about. I know it was announced obviously under his leadership. So certainly it was one of those things that Ted and Derek Sprague and Paul Levy, Pete Pavakwa, Kerry Haig, they got together and said, we're gonna do this. It's interesting. I mean, was it necessary? You can debate it back and forth, but I think at the end of it, they're going to come out with a good process. I think the players are going to buy into it, and being inclusive is never a bad thing.
If you, Shep, were a member of that committee, what would be the most important priority for the U.S. getting ready for the 2016 Ryder Cup?
Yeah, you have to get your team together again. Yeah, I think truthfully we've become big. This sport has become big at the top. These guys got a lot of money. They got their individual corporations practically, and we've somehow got to figure out a way to get them back together again where they're working as a team. They talk like a team, but they're not acting like a team, and that's the biggest thing. I don't know if a captain can do it or if it's got to just be a melting of personalities, because it's really hard when you get that much power and that many people making decisions, nobody wants to say no. Everybody wants to be in charge, you know?
And do you have a personal favorite who you would like to see be the next captain?
Next captain?
Next captain.
Freddie Couples.
Freddie?
Yeah, I love
Why
Freddie
is that?
Couples. I just think he's got sort of the right temperament to deal with some of these mega stars that we have on this team today. He's well respected. Everybody loves Freddie. I just think he puts everybody at ease.
And Tom, how soon do you think before we actually find out? Will it be in the next, like, immediate future? Will it take another year? Or?
I think what I read and I heard Derek Sprague talk about it, they're going to take a little time here. I think you're going to see it February, March, pre-Augusta. That's when the captain will be announced. But I think they're going to take their time. They're going to probably have a couple more, 1 or 2 more meetings, more input, and then move forward.
Thanks to our panel. Hey, hope you had a great Christmas and get ready to celebrate the new year. Inside Golf will be with you through 2015. And we'll be back. More of Inside Golf in a moment. Stay with us. The Valley Forge Casino Resort is the region's only full amenity gaming resort, and it's only seconds from the Pennsylvania Turnpike at King of Prussia. It features 600 slots, 50 table games, and there are nearly 500 guest rooms, plus 8 restaurants designed to meet all of your dining needs. So put the beautiful Valley Forge Casino Resort on your destination list. If you haven't seen it already, I'd like to introduce you to Jersey Man Magazine, published by former Eagle tight end Ken Dunek. It's the only men's magazine in our area. Enjoy articles on cigars, martinis, the mob, business, politics, and, of course, golf. Written by big-time journalists like George Anastasia, Bill Lyon, Sam Carchidi, and many others. Subscriptions are only $20 a year and are available at jerseymanmagazine.com.
At this moment, across the country, families are packing their bags for a getaway. And no matter where they end up, they'll all be home by dinner. Plan your own at playgolfamerica.com. From finding fun and affordable programs to finding advice from PGA and LPGA professionals, playgolfamerica.com has a way for you to get away. Visit today for details. playgolfamerica.com, your link to the game.
Now for our Fit Tip of the Week, presented by Philadelphia PGA partner Rothman Institute, the region's largest orthopedic provider. As the cold weather moves in, the Philadelphia PGA and Rothman Institute would like to provide tips and tricks for you to stay healthy, fit, and golf ready this winter. Here to help us deliver these tips each week, PGA professional Scott Riley and sports medicine surgeon Dr. Paul Marchetto from Rothman Institute.
I'm here with Dr. Marchetto. We're here for another Fit Tip. And today we're going to be talking about the area around the hips, or in this groin midsection area, which of course golfers, sometimes they start to feel some discomfort in that area. And some of them feel like maybe it's from walking, maybe it's from their golf swing. Doc, could you try to explain maybe what they're feeling or what's causing some of these issues?
Sure, Scott. Yeah, and the first confusion is patients will come in and they'll describe, well, I think it's my hip that I hurt, and they'll point to the side of their leg. And we know that that's not your hip. Your hip is in the groin area. This out here, there's a big bone where the muscles attach, and these frequently get irritated because you're not stretched out. When in fact you're having groin pain when you move your leg, that is the hip joint right in the center of the groin area. So 2 different sections, big difference in their anatomy and the causes. So we can talk about the groin pain, hip pain is related to movement of the leg and the ball in its socket. When the ball is moving in its socket, if there's some restriction or some tear of a ligament, then you'll have pain when you do big rotation of your swing. If you're having pain on the outside, lifting your leg to the side, you'll have pain that really is more on the side of the leg. That's not your hip, but more of the upper leg where the core attaches. And this is more of a pull, it's stress, it's a tendonitis versus really a hip disease, whether it be arthritis or a ligament tear. So we've differentiated those 2 separate anatomic areas. What do you do about them? Yeah. So let's talk about the outside, or more of the tendonitis or iliotibial band syndrome, trochanteric syndrome, and that has to do with the IT band stretch. That cross leg stretch that you were showing me, Scott, why don't you do that? That leg across, and yeah.
Go down there like that. You can switch legs.
Perfect. So the idea is to really stretch the outside to get that IT band or iliotibial band to stretch and become lengthened so it doesn't rub so much when you're going through your swing motion. The groin area where the hip, the ball and socket joint, when you are rotating through, you're pivoting and you're planting on this one leg and you come through, you're trying to hold that right leg stiff, as you taught us, to try and really load up on the right side and then push through. If you're not loose enough, that pushing through puts extra stress on the hip joint, the ball and socket, and you can do some deeper damage that will hurt you every time you try and turn, subsequently ruins your swing.
Well, those are great points, Doc. I mean, it is taking some preventative measures as well and keep yourself healthy, right?
Yeah,
so
that's it, Scott. Just keep stretching. Most importantly is to loosen up before you play.
All right, you heard it here from the Doc.
Golf is your passion. Each round is a unique experience with memories that last a lifetime. Make your next round one to remember with PGNplus.com, the Professional Golfers Network. Sign up for free for exclusive access to the best private courses in your area. Already a country club member? Go to PGNplus.com to learn how to take your membership further. Play your golf bucket list only on PGNplus.com. Book your tee time today.
Whether you are beginning to plan for your future, building your nest egg, or nearing retirement, Susquehanna Wealth Management will take the time to understand your unique situation and provide a customized, comprehensive strategy. From investment management and trust services to retirement planning for you or your business, we can help you develop a long-term plan to meet your specific financial goals. We understand that through life stages, your needs and financial objectives change. No matter where you are in life or how much wealth you have accumulated, we're always available to sit down with you to review your plan and adjust it as necessary. Susquehanna Wealth Management.
Susquehanna Wealth Management.
Helping you build,
manage, and preserve wealth.
Well, that's going to do it for this week's edition of Inside Golf. I hope you enjoyed our little look back at some of the notables who joined us on Inside Golf during 2014. And by the way, hope you're having a wonderful holiday season and enjoy your new year. And our new year on Inside Golf will begin by taking a look at some of the courses we visited over the past 12 months. We were at Hartfeld National. We were in Bucks County at Makefield Highlands. Also, we took a look at a couple courses of much renown that are doing some restoration work. One of them complete, that's the Wissahickon course at Philadelphia Cricket Club. And the other one that will be reopening in the spring, the old Tarsdale Frankfurt. The Union League has taken it over. It's now the Union League at Tarsdale. And we'll take a look at some of the restoration work underway there. I'm Harry Donahue. Remember, no matter how bad it's going for you out there, don't pick up, and we'll see you next time on Inside Golf, presented by Susquehanna Wealth Management. Inside Golf, presented by Susquehanna Wealth Management, helping you build, manage, and preserve wealth. By PGN Plus, play your golf bucket list. And by the Philadelphia Section PGA, experts in the game and business of golf.